Okay, okay. Back to it. I'm gonna give people a few seconds to drop by, stop by, say what's up. But yeah, though, but hey, but yes, back with it. Yeah, back with one yet again. I know it's been a while, so just bear with me. Feel like I'm a little rusty, but but I can shake the cobwebs off. That's what I do. But yeah, um, what I've been seeing lately, yes, especially around this topic here. You know, MGMs and biracials and other MLS folks. I mean, it's definitely interest. It's definitely an interesting topic to talk about. Very much so. And I have no issues with the conversation happening or even being brought up to questioning in regards to what's it like or s- what's the difference and do I feel certain ways about it. Well, let me say this. For me, um, and even at my again, like if I were to look at, again, like my entire family from start to finish, it'll definitely look like something that you would see from the United Nations. And I don't look at I never looked at it as though it was sort of a flexing like moment or anything. I don't want to say it's pretty much for bragging purposes or placed on a high standard. I just looked at it, hey, yo, I'm just blessed. And I'm sure they're blessed. Four people. Now, what's going on, four people? But yeah, but for me, again, like even in my immediate family, right? Um, when it comes to like, let's say, like even my mom, dad, or my older brother and my younger sister, well, technically, I would have another brother and sister, technically. And those other and again, but unfortunately, since they were unborn, because they died, again, they died at a very early age. Because hell, even with my dad, because he was married to a white woman, I think going back to high school or college, and when they when their marriage ended, she was pregnant at the time, and I think she ended up dying in a car accident with the two unborn babies still inside of her. And I found this out, I think, what was it, 3.5 years ago? And maybe somebody again, and if you whoever's in the comments, I'm pretty sure you can relate to where. Hold on, just a sec. Okay, yeah, but back to what I was saying though. I'm pretty sure that anybody can relate to where you will have those, whether they're family members or friends or whatever. They may tell you certain things that they may not feel comfortable telling somebody else that's in your circle. And I just don't know, and I don't know why that is, but hey, maybe they don't want to open up that can of worms with other people because they may not be open minded to it or at least a bit understanding. And I just, again, I just pretty much make the most out of it. It's not like I'm just gonna run and tell people uh, like I'm the one to gossip. Nah, like people's secrets are safe with me. But again, like hell, even with my mom, yes, my mom had again, like had my brother before she had me and my sister. And you look at them. No, again, like when it comes to, get hell, even for me, like even when I talk about, certain things in my personal life or even what I experienced up here, especially being in this space. I like to pretty much, like sort of get a feel of things, like pretty much sticking you know how people stick their feet in the water to test the water to see it's cold. Hey, what's going on? I'm confused. Hey, yo, man, like, a real talk. Before I even, before I went live, I was actually puffing on a Ave Marie, a torpedo, and now I was like, hey, I gotta have one before I go live. So yeah, that's what I was, that's one that I was that's the one that I lit. So hell, even for my and even going back to, again when I was talking about, like family and all that, even my mom, technically she's mixed. Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you though. Yeah, them torpedoes, like even when you try to like smoke them like down to where they're not necessarily canoeing on you, chances are they're going to canoe on you, and you got to keep relighting it. That's one thing that I can say that really don't like about cigars at times, where they just have that uh ability to just like canoe on you, even though you didn't took the right precautions, you lit it very well. But it is what it is. Hey, I'm not gonna, stop, getting my smoking experiences from being yeah, my smoking experiences is not gonna necessarily it won't necessarily prevent me from enjoying it. And even for me, like, cause I pretty much took up after her side of the family, pretty much. My brother did a little bit. Well, my sister, well, maybe not so much. And for the most part, even for me coming up, it's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, I know yes, I know I'm melanated. Never denied me being melanated, never denied who I am, and denied had my identity denied, and never really was ashamed of the shade that I was blessed to have. Hell, even me having hazel green eyes, that's never really something that I never looked at and was just like, oh, it's something that I got to hold over everybody's head because people notice. I may have not have noticed it at the time, but people notice. And I believe, again, like, and I guess, again, I guess the people in this space who do have colored eyes, I think JoJo is one and me another. And I'm pretty sure there's others who have the same. same type of features. And because like I said, again, like my family is pretty much just another example of what the United Nations would be like. I've seen different ethnicities and different backgrounds even in my family. They wasn't necessarily just one of the most common, yeah, a common thing to where it's just only these group of people. No, not at all. So even me knowing, it's like, okay, well, we do have that. It's like, yeah, there's definitely definitely similarities, something that we share, we're passionate about. We have the same common interests. And for the most part, um, I never really got the feeling of, again, like, again, it's like nobody really in my family, well, depending on who it is, because I even know even people in my dad's family did this a lot, where they would, hey, let me know if y'all can hear me though. Let me know if you can hear me. And I am gonna drop the link in the chat here in a bit for those that want to come on. Give me just a sec. All righty, there you go. But yeah, hey, what's up, Blasian? Hey, yo, I apologize if I missed your call, man. Like, because like when you had called, I was still like, I was still in bed sleeping, man. But I do appreciate you hitting me up though. But yes, but over time though, because I lived in multiple different places, different states, different cities. Again, technically, I'm a what you would consider a military dependent. Yes, my father served almost 30 years in the army. Hey, what's going on, Multi? And even growing up around those parts, being surrounded by other military families and all that, you definitely notice that yes, this is also a different part of the culture, to where military families, you're going to see different people from different walks of life. They're not some of them. They're not. Yeah, nobody's perfect. Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, yeah. Seeing that I got 8 people, I'm like, damn. But anywho, yeah. For me, I'm gonna tell again. I will say that even with that, even with me coming up within that walk of life, it was pretty challenging because it's like again, like because you're so used to, I guess, being in one particular spot. But then when you transition over to another place, then you have to get acquainted and get to know sort of the people in that particular place and see how they are and how they vibe. It may be a little bit challenging at first, but then for a while you just learn to get used to it. And me, again, like me being born in the South and me growing up in the Pacific Northwest, um, in the South, oh, it was definitely it's definitely something to where it was very extremely challenging versus when I moved up to the Pacific Northwest. I didn't really get too much hassle from people. And I'm just speaking, again, hell, even from my experiences, but because how the South is, I mean, yes, there's some good parts, and as well as there's some not so good parts of the South. Again, like hell, even for me, like when I walk into it, like if I were to walk into a room, surrounded by other groups of people, it's there's gonna be somewhere in your subconscious that's gonna think, and you're gonna say to yourself, "Well, you do normally stand out, you normally do, but just try to sort of keep the peace, and and hey, make yourself known. Go and say hello, interact with people, and if they tough, and if it's tough, and it's gonna be tough, but hey, if they're not feeling you, they're not feeling you." The South is very tough. I feel. Oh, definitely. Yeah, for sure, Multi. For sure. And even for those, hell, even me being an MLS, even being an MLS man, oh, it's definitely challenging. And even considered, again, hell, even me being mixed or MGM, and even with that term, and I'm gonna tell you something. Honestly, I learned that term way back around 2010, I believe. And what I mean by 2010, because there was another guy who was super, super light skinned, super, hell, lighter than me. And I got that term coming from him. And he explained it, and I like his explanation of it. So that's where I got it from. But the South is also welcoming at the same time. Yep, it is. Again, going back to the hospitality. But going back to the guy that I ended up learning it from, MGM, um, because he was asked the question, and he did a video talking about this, where you have a lot of fear and resentment coming from sides all around. It's just not necessarily pertaining to one. And even for me at the time, I was like, I knew it was I knew it was deep, but I really didn't think down it was really that deep because of how I came up and the values and morals that was placed within me, not to necessarily see it from that standpoint. Yes, I realize there are problems, and um I am no way am discounting anyone's issues that they've had coming into the world and how they see the world. Hell, even my influences are vast. I mean, I came up in worlds where one minute I'm singing and dancing to Zydeco music and all different types of music and different types of movies and TVs and events. No, giving me sort of a again sort of a sense of pride. Hell, even when I do see another MLS person, it's like, all right, hey, yo, what's up? Because normally, um, there's really not that many of us walking around. But even when notice, like when you do see another MLS person, oh, you really feel that camaraderie. Just my opinion. Hey, what's up, Duke? And also, truth be told, I even have cousins, right? If you were to look at them, they would probably would be, again, I could see, sort of see where people from the outside look at them, looking in, will automatically assume that they look like everyday white people, of course. But I take them in. It's like, hey, that's still family, regardless. And I'm pretty sure even when if they get asked questions, and I may have, and again, one of these days, I may have to, again, definitely talk to them about that, even for me, because yes, we're cousins, but hey, they may share some things with me that I may have not have ever heard coming from them, despite you know blood ties. And let me say this though, there's really nothing unfortunate about anything or anyone, let alone any shade or any ethnicity. Yes, there's advantages and disadvantages. Unfortunately, I understand that there's some trauma, yeah, some traumatizations that come with it. Others may not see you for you, they just only see you for what you have. And if they can't have what you have, they're going to hate on it. So if anybody can definitely, get hell sort of relate to what I just said, hey, get hey, let me know, put a one in the chat. Or if anybody wants to come up, hey, I think I may have dropped a link, I believe. If not, then I'll drop it again. Okay, three ones. All right. Shoot, I'm not definitely not by myself. And also, and even for me, like even how I talk, right? I know I may sound, again, like a bit country as well as a bit, sort of like, let's say I have that like a Pacific Northwest type of dialect. So and even with that, I tend to sort of like say things, or even when I talk, even when I'm talking, how I'm talking now, it does have Okay, cool, cool. But yeah, it's like a mix of it's like a mix of Southern dialect as well as Pacific Northwest dialect. And even when I moved up to the state that I'm in now, Washington State, um, I didn't realize that to the point up until I read about it that a lot of MGMs came up to Washington State. Hell, I had and also hell, I googled Jimi Hendrix and he's MGM. And this is like one of the pioneers and founders of rock and roll. Kimmy likes that cute. Yes, she does. Where Kimmy tell I said, you know what that is interesting. Like hell, I'm surprised she didn't get the notification that I was live, but she probably might pop in sometime, so just be on the lookout. Yeah, wifey, your hubby is live, so I know you're gonna want to. Oh yeah, most definitely, multi. He's definitely MGM. Yeah, you know what, multi. Yeah, I hear that sometimes. Yeah, I mean it's always again sometimes. Yeah, everybody does need a break. Getting from all the madness and stuff like that, and hell, there. Yeah, I felt like again that I needed a break. And also another technically is gonna come in. I was originally supposed to take a 3-month hiatus at one point in time. But then again, it's like, hey, well, I guess my assistance was needed. And then I think about it now, it's like, well, at the end of the day, I ended up learning a whole lot about me, you know, uh going forward. Yeah, they will wear you out. They will. But in regard I'm happy you're speaking up for the MG. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Because even I listened to a couple of videos today from a couple of people, and even they were like, even to the extent of it's like, yo, for those who again, even if they choose to identify with what they feel because of where they came up and how they grew up culturally, it's like, okay. And even with and I never knew up until I even came up into these spaces that there would be a such thing to where certain groups would get policed and gaslit for what they are or who they identify as. I mean, I figured that would probably be from, let's say, like outside of social media, because hell, we get that all the time anyway. So of course that's to be expected. Lloyd the singer, Rihanna, Biana, Nicki Minaj, Justine Skye, Tyson Beckford, Chris Brown, Naomi. Yep, Blasian, you just gave a long list of names. It's all too much for too. Yeah, very, very true. It is very much so. And Now, and even when it comes to the, the identity part, or because again, even I heard people, some people saying that they feel that their identities is being um, stripped from them or taken away from them. And having this conversation, I start to think, well, who's who's taking your identity? Because I've never taken nobody's identity that I don't have. I mean, I know it's not me, and I know there's not other MGMs that's doing it. Not that I know of, anyway. Let alone maybe other MLS biracial folks either. And hey, what's going on, wifey? How you been? Hey, y'all was calling for her? Well, yeah, she just showed up. And even for the video that the future is golden, and again, shout outs to her. Um, I can, again, even when she said that, yes, you can definitely see when you have people from different backgrounds, different cultures, or what have you, and they get together and let's say if they were to start a nuclear family, there's still going to be challenges and battles that they may have to face in comparisons to somebody like a MGM. Maybe not all the time. If they're willing to make it work, hey, then God bless them. I don't. Wow, hey yo, hey, come on now, hey yo, look, here, I'm trying to show, hey, come on now, look, hey, everybody look like, hey, at the end of the day, it's gonna be a win-win situation for all of us. Not all the time, but hey, it is what it is. Duke, I agree. They want to speak for all of the men, as if y'all have, dang, yo, like, yo, shoot. Hey, Duke in the comments, hey, dropping a little bit of knowledge there. And even for me, it's like even I got YouTube saves, but yeah though, and even for me, like again, I don't come on here speaking for anybody. I don't try to, I guess, insert in conversations to where I know that I'm not the right person to talk about it. So I just like, hey, I just leave it for the people who can relate to that. And even for me, like even when I came into these spaces, it was one of those things where it was like, yes, we may not always agree on stuff, but if we do have some type of common ground, that's a start. Because let's be honest, we don't necessarily interact like this on a regular basis, let alone outside of YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, what have you, you know? It's like we're sort of the ones sticking out like sore thumbs. Not necessarily, not in a negative way, but we just do. Nah, I'm confused. Hey, I'm confused. She's not. Nah, She don't want to be in the leaf brigade. I tried to get her in, but she doesn't want to. So I got to. Hey, I respect her wishes. So that's just something that I'm just gonna have to enjoy and enjoy alone. And you know what? And even going back to the and even when you have like again hell even other MLS folks who may not be mixed, or even if they are, even if they don't have admixture, right? Now, for some, not all, but for some, there are those that will try to say that, oh, somebody's who happens to be light skinned can sort of come from, I guess, if you have like two unambiguous parents. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but most of the time, is that really considered the norm? If that's what you think, but that's not, but it's not the norm. But if you're willing to be, but again, if they're just blessed to come out the way that they come out, then hey, you know, hats off to you. And again, and it's like, and you know how people love saying, oh, well, the exceptions prove the rule, or of course, there are exceptions to the rule. And that's just what it is, the exception. And for the majority of us, it's like, hey, hell, even for me, again, yes, the Creole culture, the Creole culture still stands. It's within my DNA. I can't help it. So I'm just gonna, again, ride with it till the wheels fall off. I mean, hell, think about it. I mean, hell, when you look at, let's say, um, a Malia and Sasha Obama, right? Hell, their dad, which yes, he's biracial, and her, of course, then their mom is, an unambiguous black woman. Shoot, what do you think they're gonna come out as? Yes, of course, they're gonna be classified as MGMs too. Yo, there, hey, Blasian just in the chat room, just cutting up today, yo. I guess that's why everybody wanted to, I guess, wanted me to go live. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Oh, yes, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that like. But then again, regarding the hair part, and I got a little true story here that I'm gonna tell. Now, when I was born, I came out with slick, wavy hair. Really, I did. And I look at my baby pictures now, and of course, but what happened? But why? But it fell out. One, because I was I didn't realize at the time that there was a such thing. Again, no one has ever heard of gluten until they got older. Now, I'm pretty sure some people knew what gluten is, but the thing was, I was allergic to milk at a very early age. And they ended up changing the formula for me lots and lots of times. So I ended up having to drink goat's milk. And that's what caused my hair to fall out. So I never got a chance to, I guess, regrow it that way because of the me being allergic to regular milk and the gluten that was in it. Hey, what's up? It's me. So I sort of came out of the short end of the stick when it came to me like maintaining my precious MGM hair. Yes. And yes, okay, see that was Moti saying thank you to Kimmy. But yes, and another thing is um because technically yes in the real world, but no you didn't. You know what? You go be timed out here in a minute. Quit playing with me. But time you out. Hey, what up, Carl? But yeah, what was I getting to say? No, I done lost my train of thought. Damn. Oh, okay. It came back to me. Yes. Now, in regards as again, like sort of the difference between your I'm aerodynamic. Hey, but you know what though? Hey, but hey, I made peace with it. I made peace with it a long time ago. I can't. Hey, there's nothing that I can do about it. Hell, now I will look at. Now I may look at my older brother because hell, he has it. And if you look at his baby picture, he looks like Chucky, Chucky Finster from Rugrats, because he had red hair, wavy hair as a baby. All right, hey, all right, come on now, Abby. Look, I just had to tell wifey, yeah, y'all, look, y'all ain't gonna be making fun of my head now. See, no. But then again, you can call this the MLS MGM egg. But anywho, but like I was saying though, what I see now the difference, again, in comparisons to, again, yes, MGMs are biracial because for some, MGM is still sort of like a new term for certain folks versus biracial, which is, of course, is I see where it's definitely going to be sort of uh, how can I say, yeah, sort of. I don't want to say accepted, but sort of considered the norm. It's like, well, I'm biracial. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, because they know it's two parents of different ethnic groups, okay, versus multi-generational mix, which people replace it with but so of course it'll probably be easy to say just say mixed, but however, even if you were to say mixed, people are still gonna put that stamp of it's like, okay, well, in order to be mixed, you gotta have like mixed equal biracial. Yes and no. Yes and no. Well, actually, Abby, with this, I actually use the app. I use the app called Tune Me to download this, and even I was pretty shocked myself when they drew the picture up very well, and hey, they did a good job. They didn't. Hey, like I said, the camera never lies. They are hater AMR. You had. I was explaining when I was a baby. Yes, I did have slick, wavy hair, but it fell out because I was allergic to milk. Yes, there's again, wifey laughing at me as usual. Oh yeah, most definitely. And normally, and even now, like again, there's still gonna be people that's gonna place multi-generational mix as being considered part of one category. And to me, it just seems as though they seem to be not necessarily too educated in a sense. It's like, okay, well, you're speaking on something that you really don't know. Ah, well, thank you. Life hasn't beat me down too much to death. and and the thing is, um, biracial equals mixed, but MGMs doesn't. Biracial equals mixed, but MGM doesn't equals biracial. The crybabies act like MGMs are trying to be right. I'm confused. And you know what? And the thing is, there's still like again, there's some common interest to it, various similarities, and again, like I said, again, and again, and these will be the exact same folks that will be like, oh, there can only be a certain group of light skinned folks. And if you came out light skinned and you necessarily don't have admixture, that part is definitely confusing to them. Like that's not supposed to happen. It's only for people who happen to be mixed or biracial or what have you. Like there's no such thing as such. And I'm like, okay, you have more in common. What we have more in common, Abby? See Tampa in the building. What's up? As far it's far yeah, definitely far back in the lineage for sure. And it's like and there's even those that may be part of that MGM lineage. um it's like for some it's like we got to prove it for some reason, and it's like, well, look here, if you're getting us confused with people uh who do try to mix fish and they don't have anybody, we should all be about pushing the entire mixed group forward. Too many people can't see past their own, no, for sure. Yeah, it's still there and it jumped in the looks. Yeah, oh, you currently watching on your BlackBerry? The gas. Well, people such as the crybabies, the gaslighters, the policers. I'm like, I don't really, and I really don't have to prove anything to anybody, really. Yeah, you don't have to like what you see. Hell, you don't have to like because they live because to me they live in their own world. They live in their own world. And Latin nations, no one makes in Latin nations, no one makes an issue between first generation mulatto or having two mulatto parents. Yeah, it's true. Whose Discord is buzzing? Sounds like what they do to mix people. You're right, Abby. They don't matter. And yeah, and that's the thing too. And because in America, and because of the ridiculous one drop rule, and people still, still use that as a tool to, I guess, put people in places versus everywhere else, the one drop rule is not necessarily oh, okay, you hear my notifications. Oh yeah, because I got my computer turned on and it's just gonna keep buzzing. So y'all just, like I said, just try to bear with me. My mom is MGM and my dad is Indian. Yeah, common thread. I've always supported the MGMs. Y'all are biracial people, kids. Y'all are biracial people, kids. These extremists. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely the extremists in their, yeah, too extreme in their thoughts. That's why we are in this space commonly. Exactly. Again, and again, you don't have to be. And if I thought a different way, then I wouldn't be here. Hey, what's going on, GG? Thank you for stopping by. And going back to what I was saying, about the one drop rule, they did the same thing in Magic Mulatto stream I saw. Absolutely, but you know it though. But yeah, like I don't have an issue with her. She's cool, people. And who are these people? They pay your bill. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Again, and thank goodness that that we spoke about the divisiveness. Again, coming from those people. A little bit, but maybe not fluently. I mean, hell, technically, I would have been fluent in a in another language. But unfortunately, that previous generation, even in my family, spoke it. But then again, passed down, I never learned it. Oh, what's up, RTGP? Too many people that don't like me were over there. Why do we give them ticks? Value the time. To me, it's like that's what happens when again when you tend to be the loudest voice in the room. These fake purists needs to learn about many mixed communities that we had here in the states. Yeah, mixed in various varying degrees, for sure, most definitely. They're trying to include non-black mixed people over there that would dilute our purpose. In my mulatto brotherhood community, the common issue lies with one person. Who's that? I spoke to Tamil, Hindi, yeah, Punjabi, Bengali, Jamaican, Arabic. But you know it though. But see here's the thing too, right? And for me, I don't. I believe I don't come off as being very divisive. I mean, I tend to try to again respect everyone's point of view, whether I agree with it or not. But I always respect people's rights to say it. I have a hard time taking on adult raised in the U.S. who only learned about the. But yeah, though, hey, but anybody got any like questions for me though before I drop the link down? Oh, hey, Magic, how you been? Facts. Nah, work it out. We have the haters in common. Never take war advice from a. Hey, what's up, Retro? Are you talking about what games or? this is a tough conversation to have. Yeah, but you know what? Hey, but you know what though? Hey, but sometimes, hey, I guess when you I guess if it's gonna come from my perspective and again coming from another from a man's perspective, of course. Like I said, yo, if anybody want to come up, they can. Like I said, I'll drop the link in the chat. Hey, what's up, Hazel? And again, and like I said, hey, Magic, you cool, you all good. Well, way retro is sort of been a whole lot of sort of a whole lot of fuckery been happening. And for me, I'm like, okay, well, let's sort of have in a way, be for me being respectfully. Oh, hold up, brown invasion here? I don't see him. But nah, though. But to answer the question though, so I just been playing a whole lot of. Okay, I see you. What's up, man? But technically, what I've been regarding the games that I've been playing, I'm still kind of like playing still playing 2K 2022. Now, what kind of work do you do AMR enough about the drama? Oh, for sure, for sure. Well, I was doing a little bit of warehouse work. Nah, not NBA. Nah, definitely not NBA. Nah, me neither. But again, like, hey, I've been playing the WWE 2K 2022. Yep, I'm definitely certified on the forklift. Five-finger discounts. What fell off? Oh, hold up. What fell off the truck this week? Well, hell, to tell you the truth, I almost fell off a truck last year. Almost. Yeah, I've been on retro. Yeah, retro Madden. I haven't played one of the Madden games since what 2015. I miss MVP baseball. Fabric sewing goods. Holla. AMR, had you been very have I been very drunk before? Yep. But that's for another conversation of discussion. Oh, the only basketball game I've ever played was NBA Streets back. Oh, I remember NBA Streets. Never got a chance to play it though, but but a lot of people would tell me that they would like just do certain shit, and I'm just like, damn. No, no, you don't. It's me. No, you don't. But yeah, though. But I have not smoked a joint since '99. It hadn't even taken over for the '99 and the 2000 Abbey. But no, though. But where I'm at because it's now considered legal where I'm at, but you still can't necessarily drive or operate a vehicle under the influence, even though people still do anyway. No seeds in the weed. No way. I'm backing it up now. I don't smoke nor drink. I don't smoke nor drink. I tried that. I tried the beer a few times, but I couldn't give a taste the alcohol. Yeah, I know what. Yeah, I know. Hey, I understand. It can, it can, or it can be sort of an acquired taste. I'm getting that itch again. I think I want to go for the repeat. Which one? In house grown with no dirt, no way. Oh, you want to win another go? Oh, you want to win another New Year's awards? Hey, but no, hey, but Jake, though, I did want to like seriously ask you like again like a question though, because like there was some comments that you did leave, and I was wondering, again like did I ever do anything to you? Now I used to smoke vapes and cigarettes, cocaine when I damn like shit, I don't know about that other. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is sort of too much. Yeah, sort of too much there, man. Because I was gonna ask, like, how'd you get a hold of the other thing? Now the other two were cool, but I'm only saying this because it's like, yo, I don't know what was going on, but yeah, like that's I gave up cigarettes and gained a lot of weight. My taste buds came back alive. Nothing in particular besides a slight shade. I have no issues with no one except a few. Fair enough. Yeah, for sure, man. Like, hey, what's going on, Future? Hey, nah, wifey. See that's the thing. Like, somebody also brought up drinking. So then when they said that, I think it may have been somebody saying that they wanted to see me drunk, and I'm like, nah, that's a different conversation to have. Let alone to see me under the influence of alcohol, especially while you on camera. Okay, that's them saying hello. No, no, Blasian. That's no, that's yo, that's too much for me. Yeah, that right there. It's like, nah. Yes, this is a family show. Dang, it went from a family show to sort of a mix of Jerry Springer. But anywho, but hey, but Jake though, like seriously though, man, like because like I said, again, because I just got done, again, like talking about it, and and I was hoping that, again, like, hey, the conversation, again, wouldn't necessarily take a completely left turn. But the name's already been thrown out there though. I used to do cocaine. I was younger because I had anger issues. Not anymore. Yeah, but yeah, though. But hey, everybody has a certain. Everybody got a certain lifestyle that they live, and it's kind of either for a while hard to bounce back off. Either you can abandon it or still continue to live in it. Yeah, me too. Me too. I always said no. I've seen too many things as yeah. And you know, and the crazy thing is too is that if you've seen some things like, you know, again, like coming up and not necessarily that you've experienced it or had a chance to dabble in it, but when you see somebody that you know, whether if it's family or friends, do something, what's that saying that you're bound to, you know, follow in their footsteps or not necessarily learn from their mistakes. I got a major. You got a major tan. Again, I like the sun, but I can't take the heat. Yeah, some people were real messed up that I knew. Yeah, and for them, I'm like, hey, sorry that they had to go through that. Like 3 shades darker. All right, come on now, Blazer. Now let's be nice. All right, come on, everybody. Let's settle down. Let's settle down. 14 years ago, Bernie Mac passed. Yeah, and I was actually in California when that happened, and he was 50. 50 years old, and even that was and that was pretty much kind of unexpected, even for me. I know he had health issues, where when he got hospitalized and they gave him the wrong medicine, and his face ended up swelling up. My own mom asked me who threw all that. Oh man, I'm confused. And I'm pretty sure you went back and she said you are. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm definitely confused. Now, who the threw all that black on you? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Rest in peace to Chicago comedy legend. I like Kalita Smith and Z Nation. Oh yeah, Wanda. I got to go now because I have work tomorrow. Bye, AMR, GG, Multi, Kimmy, the future's golden. Everyone in the chat. All right then, Blasian. Peace out. Good seeing you. Oh yeah. Hey yo. Hey future though. Hey yo. Real talk. Yo. Like the last video that you did. Even I had to. Even I was like, yo. I don't think any. You know, again, what you said, yo. It could have been said even better. But yeah, though. But hey, she held that show down. She played the lead role very well as Bernie Mac's wife. But yeah, though. But anywho, because even for me, it's like yes, and even what I had to learn and sort of come about is like enough with the whole. And even for me, I'm still like what enough with the divisive and yeah, the divisive and extremist type of comments. Whether you agree to disagree. I mean, I understand, again, people are still going to have problems and all that, because of certain differences or what have you. And my thing is though, and even for me, I'm like, hey, you feel this way, yo, that's what you want to do. Hey, that's what you want to do. Yeah, I won't necessarily stop you, but at the same time, other people really shouldn't be felt guilty because you put them in this category. Meanwhile, you go in that category, you know. And I'm speaking it really from a position where I want to see everybody win, all of us. Yeah, very much so. It's one category, golden. And there's all kinds of gold in here. All kinds of MLS, biracial MGM, etc. And I'm proud of who I am, and hopefully you are too. I sort of, again, I believe I'm sort of being a uniter and not necessarily a divider. Again, there's some things that I can help and there's some things that I can't. See, I'm gonna drop this link in the chat to see who wants to come on and speak. Oh yeah, for sure. We can acknowledge differences without being divided, for sure. There you go again, Abby. There you go again. You're part of the Nordic group. Give me just a sec, y'all. I'm typing something. I don't know what the hell is going on. I got a slow computer. Oh, I need a new computer bad, man, because this one here is just it's holding on for dear life, but it's just on slow mode. You teaming up with Lincoln Clay. Who's that? Nah, but I've seen other people play Mafia 3. But then they make oh oh the lead character? Okay, cool, cool. But yes, oh wow. An hour and 29 minutes. But yeah, though, but anybody got any more questions though? Before I wrap this up? Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, with the name Lincoln. Oh, all right. Well, you know what? I'm thinking that his dad must be his dad may also be part of the Nordic group as well. But nah though, but going back to, sort of my story a little bit. Um and because, hell, even for me, they say his dad is Italian and his mother's a black Dominican, unconfirmed. Okay. I'm thinking about when I get my first passport. I'm wondering what country I want to visit first. Oh man, come like speaking of passports, yo, I'm still hella disappointed that I lost my passport and I had to put another application in, pay the money, and now they said that it's supposed to take about what, uh, 5 to 6 weeks for my new one to show up, but so far nothing yet, not even no update status. And I even tried to call them, and I'm still waiting in limbo. And that's what happens, again, like even when you again and me for me when I like traveled overseas, like for the first time going to Mexico. Now I know some people may think that Mexico is not all that in the baggage. Well, I'm like, it may not be to them. That's because they haven't been anywhere. But I say it pretty much just, became a. And when I went, it was like sort of in the middle of winter, while it was cold here in the States, but it's still hot down there. There you going to Greenland. Now, good luck to you. Now, I'm trying to get everything in order so when I apply for it, I'll be ready. Yeah, and be ready for that. A. But that wait for it, even when it arrives to your address, it can be a pain in the ass because you're so itching to go, but you gotta wait for that one particular thing, which is the passport. And even at times, that's if again, like a visa. Lately, they've been hating on dudes that travel, especially on black dudes that travel overseas. I'm finna be on these hater asses. Yeah, yeah, and you know what? And that's the thing too. Now, for some, um, now you do have again, you do have certain content creators who do travel content, and depending on what they put out, um, Of course, there's going to be criticism, but however, um, there's some, and again, you do have those like hell. I'll even say a name right now. Hell, Axe Nathaniel. Now he was on the travel tip, but now all of a sudden he turned into one of these hating ass dudes. Because unfortunately, when he went to the Dominican Republic, apparently something happened, and all of a sudden he's singing a different tune and it just became another hating ass dude. Unfortunately, and you'll also have other dudes that do travel content, and then when other travel content creators thinking that they're going to link up, but when they don't link up, then all of a sudden that they get mad. Like there's a dude that I was watching back then, and I think he may still be on YouTube now, and he said it that they hate him because he won't necessarily travel with other travelers, with other content creators type of travelers. It's like if I'm gonna go. So it's like if I'm gonna travel solo. I mean, if you want to travel with family, cool, but it's like they feel like you got to be with them and only them to get around in life. And I'm like, no, you don't. Staying in the States, they hating real hard, but I'm like, we can't even, we can't in our own comfort zone. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely get hated. Yeah, they definitely get hated on for sure. Because once you step outside your comfort zone, they definitely can't relate. They think that, according to them, and it's just like how if you were to talk to someone about future plans and endeavors, what your goals are, where you see yourself, even they too will take that as being, even that too, they'll take that as though you bragging. I'm like, no, it was not necessarily bragging. It's just that, I'm letting you know where I see myself. And if you want to come, want to join me, join me. If not, you don't have to. And I'm not, hell, even for me, it's like, I'm not expecting everybody to follow me or to do everything that I do. That's just unrealistic. For every progressor, there's going to be a regressor. For those that's going to be in the status quo, that want to still want the status quo to be, there's going to be those that don't want the status quo to be. For your mix, the Dominican Republic is still the best. Oh, well, and and that's the thing too, that because again, I can't speak on that because I haven't been. But for those who I have talked to, have told me um, that they've been and they've had a wonderful time, and not just again just for the and what in retro, and that's the thing too, where like certain places do get a bad rap for I guess the sex tourism part of it, and they're also facing that part of it when it comes to them being hated on. And again, and I'm like this, again, I'm not policing nobody in what they do, as long as you're not harming me. But there are those that is going to look at that and they're going to take that completely out of context on what you're putting out. And even if they got to go as far as beyond to do that, well then hey, there's nothing that really there's nothing really they can do about it. Yeah, I've had that said about me numerous times. And I get, and that's also, again, the point that I was also going to make here is that when you do happen to be any form of MLS, you tend to look uh you tend to look certain you tend to get those type of compliments or certain comments that, oh, you don't necessarily look like you could be this, you look like you can be something else. And it's like, yeah, you fit right on it in a way. And that's one thing that I can say about MLS, us MLS folks in general. I mean, there's never really been that much, as far as I know, that we just pretty much just, again, have to like physically alter our features and appearances to try to fit in with different groups. The haters saying dudes going to other countries for pros, like the same stuff that doesn't happen in America. Just how ignorant. Yeah. Yeah. It's unbelievable, right? See how these how- the double standards, even for me. I'm like, come on, man. So you can travel easier. Oh yeah, and you know what? And thing is, shoot, hell, and I can also drop some dirty little secrets right now if I wanted to, but that will only make haters. They'll really piss off even more haters who don't like the conversation and where it's going. So, and even when it comes to travel. And because, and like I said, again, and going back to, again, in America and the way that, it's seeing itself, because you do have those that still, again, still feeling comfortable with how things should be, and they're not willing to give up that power and control easily. So they're just going to continue to be in that fight, but not realizing it's like, well, where is the benefit? Yeah, Abby, I can't necessarily. Yeah, there's some secrets that I'm not going to necessarily reveal right now, but it has nothing to do with anybody here, but just what I just got done talking about when it comes to certain travel. But yeah, um, but then again, they coming from a, again, hey, from a MLS, MGM, person such as myself. And like I was saying before, in regards to the advantages and disadvantages, because and and I just got done talking about that, because because you know, like for those, like I said, I can't speak for all of those guys, or let alone all of those girls who may do the same thing. And I mean, hell, you would even have, and even for some girl, and even for like hell, there was a story that like, what was it? What was that damn that stand up? Yeah, Eddie Murphy Raw, where he was talking about how, yeah, you know, your girl gonna leave to go on vacation, and she's gonna be she gonna be, you know, sleeping around with Dom. What was that guy's name? Oh yeah, Dexter. Oh yeah, you'd be surprised. That's why they be going over there seeing Dexter in the Caribbean islands. Again, that it may not be believable, but it does happen. Okay. Okay, I see we got the retro guy. Hey, what's up, man?
Yo, what's happening?
I'm chilling. Yourself?
Oh, same, same.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say this was sort of a pretty interesting topic, you know, get regarding, you know, the things I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yes, Abby, Dexter St. Jock. They go there. There's somebody that's planning to see Dexter St. Jock right now. And Duke says, "Why travel for a prostitute? We have them here." Yeah, but the ones here in America, and
Yeah,
for the ones in America, they for some reason have, you know, came up with this unrealistic materialistic standard for what they're really worth, knowing that there's still like certain, again, like hell, anybody can, you know, can step out of their house right now and just go fucking, and no issue. Sure.
yeah. That what I was saying when dudes were saying that dudes travel to other countries just for prostitution, and I'm like, so does that happen here in this country of America too?
Yeah. And the thing about it is, and because they're only seeing that, and again, and that's probably what they're going by because of what they're only how they're only seeing it. It's just other guys just going there, not just for the just the traveling aspect, but you know, again, the interaction with the opposite sex. So, um, but then again, I'm not saying that, you know, again, oh, it's all, you know, picket fences over there. But the thing is, I mean, hell, do you have to watch out while you're over there? Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, there were stories going on about people getting drugged. I mean, which is not the same as what would have happened if you were here and you run into somebody and you don't get drugged as well. But the thing about it is that, and again, like I said, you know, again, like, you know, this, like I said, no, again, I haven't messed with no prostitutes, you know, at all. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but that
yeah,
doesn't necessarily mean that I know guys who have. So they would be better off, you know, again, explaining it to you the way that I would. But I'm just only speaking from it from somebody from the outside looking in, who because it's like, and the thing is that hell, even for me, because again, I'm only 34 now, but there was a certain point in time in my life where it was like, hey, well, I've seen guys go overseas and get married. Yeah, actually get married. And even I was, my mind was blown away. I'm like, what? But I'm like, okay, well, I wish you well. So I guess they was proposing on beaches. There was not always Abby, but there were some guys younger. I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, yeah. And again, I would look at him. I'm like, yo, you don't look like you're either pill. You just look like just again, you're just a regular guy, and you're like, and I'm going, wow, I don't know what you do for a living, but me just being somebody from the outside looking in, again, I'm just really interested in the sort of the travel aspect.
Yeah, yeah, I've been seeing like on the the travel like bro side. I've been seeing like a lot of receipts though of like dudes like they just enjoy themselves in the other countries, and and I'm not mad. I'm not knocking them. It's just the double standards that I have a problem with.
Right, right. And you know what? And part of that is that and again, like certain influencers and who you watch and who attracts you, you know which unfortunately, because within the so-called travel community, those particular people, not just those that are enjoying themselves and expanding their horizons and all that, but the ones that tend to promote that side of things tend to be negative anyway. That is just not that it was just all about the women, 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 women. It's like, no, they're actually showing you how the food is. They're actually showing you where the beaches are, where the local clubs and bars are. Even when you go for a walk and you start to go out and there's monuments, boats, and sailing. So it's not always, again, like how everybody makes it out to be.
Yeah, just everybody just got their different experiences when it comes to traveling.
Yeah. Then when they start getting kidnapped and raped by men and kidnapped, then what? Then what would we hear from these guys? The government will step in and ban this event.
I highly doubt the government is gonna ban it eventually. I highly
Yeah,
doubt that. Then when they start getting robbed, raped by men and kidnapped, I mean, and I find it funny how some people say like when you go to that country or this country or that country, something gonna happen to like it's danger. It's danger like everywhere.
yeah,
Danger
most
everywhere,
definitely.
including like where you live in your home. Like danger could be walking up on your doorstep. So it's like that's life.
If it's hurting the good tourists, and you know what, Abby, pardon me, and glad that you said that because I know like the part of Mexico that I went to, they actually uphold a uphold a I don't want to say it's a law, but it's how can I put it? To where it's like, okay, if you come here to this certain part, you got to have somebody with you, meaning that you can't go out sightseeing by yourself. That, again, that they do have, like certain parts wherever you go, that nobody can travel, well, can't go out sightseeing, doing anything on their own, which is why, even when I went like to the certain part of Mexico that I went to, you hardly ever saw anyone alone. They were with people, and because they don't want to mess up their own tourist dollars, especially for that country. I mean, hell, even certain parts, hell, even in the U.S., people come over here and want to, tour of certain parts, and they have like hell, they have regulations on what to do. Hell, if you necessarily were to travel, or go outside seeing by yourself, they don't want you to leave they don't want you to leave the resort area. Yeah, yeah. And I'm trying to think, well, okay, yes. They can't be responsible for the thugs. Where I went to, I can't say that I experienced that. I didn't experience the thugs. I mean, I did see like let's say military police. Yeah, I did experience that, but none of them did anything to me though. They were just watching the sights, like they normally do. And I got, again, I got my money's worth. My accommodations were, again, Met didn't get in too much trouble. But yes, though, but like, but then again, though, but such things like, hell, even such as prostitution, believe it or not, I mean, there's still going to be forms up there, still going to be there,
Yeah,
and it won't necessarily change anytime soon, even though it's considered illegal. Again, like I was saying before, again, hey, people can go outside and again decide that they want to meet up right now. You know, there's really no rules and regulations on that as long as nobody doesn't come up missing. But yeah, though, but technically though, I had this dream because the whole like again conversations in regarding the MGMs and biracials and other forms of MLS folks, right, came
right.
into play, and I was sort of explaining it from my standpoint and my experiences, and like the common interests and the necessarily not so common interests, and like I said, again, like for me, like when I came into the space, it was like, I never really thought it was gonna be. I mean, I knew it was gonna be some issues, but not to the point to where issues was gonna really only go so deep. Like for an example, like I highly doubt Drake right now is like if Drake and Chris Brown were to be seen in the same venue together, then all of a sudden it's gonna be Oh well, I'm not light skinned. I'm biracial. I'm like as if though this kind of thing, right? I'm like, yeah, they may not. I'm like, yeah, they're different, sort of similar but different. Of course, that doesn't mean one is better than the other. But yeah, though. But my thing is this though. Again, I tend to show everybody love that showed me love, even though whether I agree to disagree and whatnot. And for the most part, and even again, and going back to again what you were saying about the again like the dudes that be hating when it comes to traveling. If they was hating then they're gonna be hating now because it's
Yeah,
something that because they have no experience with that. And truth and truth be told, hey, when you step outside your comfort zone, like you tend to learn about yourself. That you realize there's more than life than what you currently know.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
healthy. It's healthy to learn like new things, experience something new.
right. I mean, hell, like shoot, and again, and it's not always. I mean, again, yes. I mean, it's sad that again, like the sex tourism has sort of just become the face of it all. But really, normally people they move overseas, they travel overseas because number one, things to do over there is a lot cheaper than what you're getting from your like somebody from America can travel overseas and not spend as much, or they can live over there and not pay much in rent.
Yeah, they say like in like certain countries, like yo, the American dollar can go like a long way.
Oh yeah, and that's if again if you understand that's if you understand currency. It's not hell. Even I'm still learning and trying to pick up on that. Like and hell even in Mexico, like they got the Uber game on lock because it's like imagine you getting an Uber or a Lyft for right now in America, it's probably gonna run you about like what maybe 14, $16 depending on where you go.
Mm,
But if you like get an Uber overseas, it'll only cost you like $1 or two.
mm.
Yeah,
I mean, I never use Uber, so
yeah, but and again and
mm,
that's understandable. Like for some, again, that's just like hey, I was just saying as an example, like for
yeah,
those who may not have access to transportation right now, but again though, like if you become again like Uber does come in hand if you get too wasted. That's the only recommendation I would take it if you got if your equilibrium was not set in place and you're just too effed up to get behind the wheel. That's the only thing I would probably recommend it for, or let alone if you're in a resorted area and you're trying to like get to another spot or what have you, then I would take it. But yeah, but for the most part, yo, that's now for those that again who really don't have to worry about that, they really don't have to worry about it. Yo, they just want to go out and see what the rest of the world is like. Not
Yeah, so
just, the whole not just, oh, I want to find the finest girl that I can fuck right then and there.
mm,
It's not always the
mm,
case, but
mm. Yeah, some people just got different reasons to travel. I mean, my
oh yeah,
my reason for why I want to travel is just I want to see life outside the U.S.
yeah. Oh yeah, oh absolutely. I'm listening while I'm dealing with my son. He's hey, it's all good, Kimmy. But yeah, though, but and then that's and because and it does tend to, again, everybody else has different rules and regulations in comparisons to the states,
Yeah,
where like things that goes on in the states, other countries may not think of it as they may not think that much deep into it or think that it's not necessarily problematic. I mean, hell, even with I mean, hell, like I heard some dudes right before I hopped on, they were talking about what's a girl name, the one that got arrested in Russia, Brittany Griner, I think.
yeah, yeah. The WNBA chick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, her. Yeah,
Like even with her and her, even with her and her situation, it's like okay, because you're well known and you play professional basketball, that necessarily really doesn't mean that you can go. Now again, I'm not saying that again, I'm not coming from a biased perspective, but still, it's like again, if you go somewhere overseas and there are certain things that you're used to doing while you're stateside in comparisons to everywhere else, chances are you tend to face the consequences. I mean, hell, there was even a white dude who went to the United Arabs, or I think it may be Dubai, I believe, and even he got locked up for having weed.
yeah. The way I see it is like if you like go to like another country, you need to do your homework first on that country before you start traveling there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
get to get like look up like the laws, like what you can and cannot do, and what's allowed and what's like not allowed. And so that way you'll be on the safe side.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where, a lot of us tend to make that mistake is that we don't do our homework necessarily. Like, because we're just so used to it's like, oh, our impatience is just at a all-time high and it runs amok. It's like, oh, I'm ready to go now, but yet didn't didn't necessarily do your research on what's allowed and what's not allowed, you know? Then when something happens to you, then you're just stuck like, well, what happened? I'm like, well,
Yes.
that's why they give you pamphlets. That's why they give you papers and other accommodations to look at before you do anything.
That was
Because I
having
know somebody because I know somebody asked me recently, when I was talking about, wanting to move up to Portugal, and they had asked, well, don't you worry about the whole like what happened with Brittany Griner, and I'm like, well, there's like yes and no, because see, there's the difference between me going somewhere versus Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner is a well-known name. I'm not a well-known name. I'm considered a regular Joe Schmo in comparisons to her, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be let off the hook automatically either. Because yeah, it'd be very easy for me, if I chose to go down that route. And that's where I think, again, where we've gotten to in this modern day world where people just, they're not necessarily abiding by the law. We're not necessarily figuring out, we're not necessarily going over. It's like, okay, what's tolerated and what's not tolerated. Like hell, if I go out drinking and all of a sudden I get behind the wheel and I'm swerving and I get pulled over by the police and I'm sitting here, oh, I didn't do nothing. I'm like, yeah, you did. Number one, because you're driving under the influence.
yep.
So yeah, that I think, but yeah, though, but you hit on, but yeah, that was a point that yeah, I did, I believe we all should, brush up on, because there are certain things that again we allow over here versus other places they may not allow over. Oh yeah, hey, that's another good spot, the Bahamas. But for me though, I'm like, yo, because and it now again, I don't know where you happen to be from, but oh, I think you may have mentioned it, but I just forgot. But I do know that like if you're like, let's say from a cold place and where it's really cold, people do tend to like move to like places where it's like very warm, or vice versa.
Yeah, I'm from the south.
Yeah. Oh, okay, you too. So you definitely know how it is down there.
Yep.
Yeah. And shoot. Do y'all also have those mosquito problems?
Uh, I think I like come outside that much, but
Yeah. Because where I came from, like in Texas, it was like hell. We had to deal with but yeah, hot weather, sometimes rain, even roaches and mosquitoes.
yeah, I'm from Georgia.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay then. So it was like, and you know what? And that's the thing too. Like I have tried like so many times in my life to even see what I can do on trying to make a trip down to Georgia before,
Mm-mm.
and I always ended up coming up short. So I'm thinking it's like, well, maybe it just wasn't necessarily meant to. And this was like around what 2018, 2019. And I just always ended up like, oh well, Like I said, it's not meant to be. But and then it's like I just gotta stay where I'm at for right now until and I don't know what it is to where it's like, like you ever feel like, again, like you want to do something, but it's just like, somebody is still like holding on to your coattail, like they don't want you to.
You mean like some like people like trying to like pull you back or something? Or,
Yeah, 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 that kind of thing.
what am I trying to say? I gotta think on that because that's sort of like kind of it kind of like goes to my head sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, it's all good, man.
Okay, you say about like from like growing up with like biracials and like MGMs from like your experience, like
Yeah, yeah. Like my experience is like, yeah, like from my like sort of throughout my entire life, sort of like there was never really a whole lot of gaslighting and policing of identities or even projection kind of thing. And and I never thought, and again, and me because it's like I never thought about it that way, or never really thought it was really that deep when it came to certain individuals from third generation, second, first, or even third generation, you know. And we just pretty much just went along with the flow, you know. It's like hell, shoot, hell, that was not, again, like a minute that went by that I saw different people, saw people, within my family that was just popping up out the woodwork. It's like, oh, well, you're related to us? Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, nice to meet you. And again, and like, and I had mentioned, that I had mentioned my cousins earlier about how one looks like Mariah Carey and the other one looks like Channing Tatum.
wow.
Yeah. And if I said, again, somebody from the outside looking in, if they got a good look at them, it's very easy for them to be pointed out and go, well, you look like everyday, uh, well, you would look like everyday white folks to me, even though their dad is my uncle. And my uncle and that uncle and my mom are like brothers and sister or brother and sister. So I'm pretty sure that, again, like I said, and I'm thinking about reaching out to him and maybe probably asking him just so I can experience it just so that I can get the confirmation. Not that I'm trying to prove anybody wrong or anything like that, but hell, it's like, hey, do y'all get questions even by people who know about your dad? Even though they know, do they be like asking them like? what he is and how y'all came out the way y'all came out kind of thing. And I'm more than likely, now I could be wrong, that they may tell me that, yeah, it's probably still happening now. Like, I'll tell them, I'm like, hey, yo, that's the family dynamics. Definitely the family dynamics. But the whole but then again, like when it's like when you go and then you see these certain comments and a whole lot of divisiveness is going on. I look at these people and I'm like, really? But I'm like, if that's the case, well then hey. Because and that's the thing too, like, other look Abby over here talking about she oh, so you gonna be like Stella and get her groove back?
Mm.
Man, you is something else right now.
Mm.
Something else. But I would but then again though, but I will say though, because there's sort of yeah, we all know that there's a difference between old school way of thinking versus new school way of thinking, and you do have some of those old school folks from a generation that they still keep their same values,
Word.
but they're not,
Man.
yeah, but they're not necessarily being malice with it. Like for an example, it was like pretty much like there's a saying like hell, even what's going on with the well, I know I'm definitely gonna raise a lot of eyebrows with this, but oh well. We old, but we not dead. Well, I wasn't talking about you, Abby. Man, they just been cutting up in the chat room tonight. So it's not no. As soon as I go live, it's just like, oh well, we know where we can go and act the fool. They gonna come over here. I'm like, all right. Like I give y'all free reign to do whatever, but you can be messy, but not too messy. But yeah, though. But the thing is that like when it comes to like hell, even when you have those generational old school pro black folks versus the new pro black folks,
Mm.
like you look at guys like Claude Anderson, and yes, Claude Anderson, who's definitely an MLS man, who's done his due diligence, is fighting for you know uh black folks, and even the old school ways never. I don't believe they have ever gaslit him to the point to where it was like, okay, well, you don't look like us. Like, why are you? So, what makes you think you identify? I mean, that this is what the new generation is saying now, and I'm like, well, Claude Anderson is from a generation where there wasn't necessarily such thing. Yeah, there really wasn't necessarily. I mean, yeah, there was probably a one drop rule, and they went by that back then, and y'all brought him in, but then all of a sudden y'all want to kick him out because you think that there should be a new face. He works hard for them, and the youth have no respect. Exactly. Yeah. That definitely holds true. And it, And yeah, again, and you can go down the line. A lot of us who have contributed really have been MLS.
Yep. Yep.
Shoot, hell, and it's like, and there's some MLS that they still trying to hold on, but will use for beneficiary purposes. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, oh, make up your mind. The internet makes a lot of things easy. He was on the lecture circuit for years educating, and some trolls on this machine gonna make him feel less than. Yeah. And I'm like, and this guy, and I'm like, and the man is old enough to be their granddad, or let alone their father. And if he ever saw one of these people in person, he would probably take his belt off. Yeah. Exactly. That's what they, yeah. That's what they are. Facts. I mean, hell, shoot, they definitely, hell, if they haven't done it, shoot, if they haven't done it already, but I'm pretty sure they're doing it now. I mean, hell, Michael Eric Dyson, Cornell West, and who else? Oh, come on, shoot, if they weren't necessarily talking that stuff then, they talking it now. So you necessarily can't, again, it's like, okay, so they don't, it's like, well, they want you in the spec, but it's like they want you with them, but at the same time, they don't. Oh, who are you referring to? They may be old men. They may be old men, have been boots on the ground. Yeah. But yeah, though, but that was just, again, like, again, like, that was just me, again, explaining it from my perspective.
Mm. Oh yeah. It is good.
Yeah,
It's all good.
right, right. And at the end of the day, it's like, hey, like when I did my last stream, I think I was talking about why they necessarily can't stand MLS spaces, right?
Right.
And I gave my opinions on that, and especially why they can't necessarily stand me, because number one, because I won't necessarily to conform to their way of thinking, nor uh again, I don't, again, now, yes, I don't look at money as being the end all be all. I mean, it does help out with things, but it doesn't help out with all of things, let alone mental health.
Yeah, me.
So
Yeah, me personally, I'm the type of person that say like money don't make a person that happy.
yeah, because hell, and even with the, again, even with the warehouse work, it's like, okay, yeah, you're still like, yeah, I'm working, but at the same time, it's like, what's what about me has changed all of a sudden? Oh, me just, again, just coming in, clocking out, just, again, doing the same old over and over and over again. So My bad, yo. I'm looking at Abby's comment. Like
Oh,
you know what? Hell, I might just even I think I just may, get like one day just have another cartoon image of me where I got facial hair. And y'all really go and I ain't gonna shave it or nothing. I'm just gonna look like one of those little woolly bullies. And I really want to see who wants to point out. Thank you about the money. Attention whores will suck up to and fuck over everyone in these YouTube streets for super chats and exactly. And I dressed on that before that it's funny how you will have these content creators right now. Don't get me wrong. Now I'm not knocking your hustle. If you feel like that, hey, if that's what you depend on, hey, that's your hustle. But I'm not one of those type of people. I don't put uh PayPal's or Cash App links in the chat and y'all donate to me and then all of a sudden I just take your money and just say, "Oh, fuck you." Like I'm ripping you off. Abby, come on. I'm trying to be serious now.
she asked, "Do I want to dance with her?"
Uh,
uh, Abby just said, "Do I want to
yeah,
dance?"
she was asking you.
I'll I'll say yes, but no, because I'm a fighter. This avatar is a fighter.
Uh,
Actually, actually this avatar he came from a video game, so
the male's just telling you what you want to hear. Wow. Damn. Yeah, only in my chat room, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you swing dance? But yeah, but yeah though, but and that's the again like cuz I mean you've been around these, again not just these streets but all other YouTube streets where you have seen people, these major influencers will be like, "Oh, well, if you don't donate your money to me, then I'm going to be mad." But yet when they do and then they don't deliver what they actually promise and then it's like, "Okay, well, we give you this money not just for support purposes, but where are these things that you promised that was going to happen?" "Oh, well, fuck you, ain't it ain't happen." Like, nah. I'm
yeah.
like, I'm not that type of dude and would never be that type of dude to where all they do is just rely on just tips and cash apps and certain donations, but yet never really come through for what their actual objective is.
All I want to hear is just all I want to hear is just the info and wisdom. I didn't give a two
Yeah.
crap about super chats and cash apps.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want you giving to Pornhub and OnlyFans, so you home alone, broke, and can't even simp packing for my. Yo, uh, oh my God. It's like, yeah, they want to tell. Not only are they policing people's identities and stuff, but they policing your pockets. They policing the way you think. It's a lot of policing around these parts, and I'm just like, no. And if that's what your whole if that is, again, if that's how you what you're gonna base your life on what to tell somebody what to do, especially over the internet, and nobody knows you. That is your that is your claim to fame. Lord help us. Like y'all really y'all don't want really fair treatment. Y'all don't even want you really don't want justice or any type of any rights to happen or anything to change. You just only want you really want these unproductive ass tricks with no say so, who you can dominate. Like, well, you just say like you ain't got no money. Okay, all right, I ain't got no money. So, what you gonna do about it? Yeah, you know what you know what that's what was going on. Oh shit. Hey, I'm trying to keep up. All right. So I wish I would listen to these men whole okay, this is going on private. Now I gotta change the title. Yo, talking about MGM, experiences with some late night after dark X-rated. Wow. Oh, oh man, like y'all then only in my chat room. And yeah, and yes, and you are interacting with cartoons and avatars, but we do have voices.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Look, I don't discriminate. I'll take nah, you good. You good. I'm just messing around.
Mm.
But yeah though, but that I'm just like, again, but at the end of the day, like which unfortunately, we still have long ways to go. Yeah, I did, but that was pretty much, again, not saying that what I did. I never participated. Maybe the travel part, yes, but sex tourism, you're gonna have to talk to you're gonna have to talk to them. But yeah, though. But anything else you got to say though?
Um, nah, nah.
Why do we care what anyone says? That's oh. I think I done started something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't mention travel then. If, if I
Well,
mean,
no, it's all good. No, again, I mean, don't get me wrong.
I mean, I mean, just lately I've been hearing the beef about like the traveling bros getting hate from like dudes who don't travel, dudes who be on like on the like the pickup artist type of stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure. Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure, because they're the ones that's like has the loudest voice in the room, and when you're the loudest voices in the room, chances are, you tend to stick out more, and that's right there. Will put again they all of a sudden that puts their mark or their stamp when when that tends to be instead of going directly to that. It's like, well, is this what you? It's like, and the thing is that they really don't necessarily have to explain anything. They don't. All right, let me see what these two talking about now. Oh wow, they never ain't gonna let me live that down with my. Still talking about my egghead, huh? Yeah, but that's to take your time and step away from the people who support you. Oh yeah, true. And believe and deep down, and even and again, I'm still if I, and which is sort of a shame, but it's like, well, you gonna have haters regardless of what you do, wherever you venture in.
yeah,
Yeah, you'll have supporters and you'll have those that won't, and even the ones that don't. I'm like, okay, I wish you well. Well, you may not again. You don't have to like what I have to offer. No, yeah, my dad used to tell me all the time. It's like, hey, yo, if I give you a cup of water and and again, you thirsty, and you reject it from me, but it's like, okay, well, you don't want the water, but are you still gonna be thirsty though? They come in this space commanding your attention. Haters are a good thing sometimes. Oh yeah, they are. I guess if you don't have them, then you're doing something wrong. Okay, you got a question. Which video game your avatar came from?
uh, it came from a fighting game like back in 2003. It was called Def Jam.
Oh, like Def Jam Vendetta and all that.
Yeah, yeah, the Avatar. That's a pimp character. He from Def Jam Vendetta.
You know what? That's one of the things that I regret not. One of the games I regret not buying. Like I didn't buy the Def Jam, the Def Jam games.
Uh,
Yeah, I never really did, and that's like, oh, because I was like interested in other things, and it was just like, well,
like I'm from
hey, still,
yeah, I
I'll go
came
ahead.
from my bad. I came from like I used to play Def Jam a lot back in the day. Like I play some of it on my channel though a little bit. I was a pro at that game. So,
Oh yeah, and then you had and even when the Marvel games came out, like during the times when PS2 was still one of the hottest consoles.
yeah.
Like you had Spider-Man, you did have, even X-Man, Ghost Rider, the Punisher, which I regret not
Mhm.
buying as well. Punisher. which they do need to make another Punisher game right now. And I got the Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge downloaded, and nobody wants to play with me, but it's all good.
Yeah, I used to play a lot. I like a lot of the old school games. Like I like Nintendo 64, the GameCube, PS2,
Right.
PS3. Yeah, I think Nintendo 64, that was like my first ever like video game console I ever played. Like the game I used to play a lot on there was 007 GoldenEye.
Oh yeah, I remember that, yo. Hey, b- the one that came out on Nintendo 64 or the newer edition.
The Nintendo 64.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Even thinking about it now, I just realized, yo, I didn't realize how long. I mean, you don't think about how long the game is until you complete it, even at
Yeah.
an early age. But then when you get older, you be like, oh damn, this is a long ass mission.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a full walkthrough, like a full game. I did like the full game on my channel like a while back, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like you ever watched it?
Um, I think I may have, get like maybe viewed like the videos that you had, but for some reason, I never really, again, I never really clicked on it, but I may have to, get like even for myself, I may have to go and check it out to see how you may do things,
Yeah.
how you did things and all that.
Hmm. Yeah, I play a lot of
They want,
classic.
yeah, they want superiority, not equality. Yeah. Are they gonna give me some money? Oh, here we does this have to do with some type of taxes there, Kimmy? Oh, and yes, Abby, Ninja Turtles. Yes, I said it. Ain't nothing wrong with Ninja Turtles.
I don't think I know. Well, I watched like the movie Ninja Turtles, but I don't think I never played like the video game of Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Like 'cause hell, they're even coming out with an entire, collection of the old games of Ninja Turtles, and they're gonna put them all into one. And and even with the newer game, Shredder's Revenge,
Hmm.
like I really hate, get like talking about this one because they always have one turtle that's like the punching bag that they used in the demo, and of course they're gonna talk about Ralph because of what happened to him in the first Ninja Turtles and all that.
Uh,
Yeah, when he got, beat up by the Foot Clan. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I never played in like the old Ninja Turtle games. Like, cause I remember playing a lot of games, but there's some I never got my hands on.
Yeah, yeah, because like it's just to me, it's just like there's. I mean, like, you haven't played Fight Night, right?
Yeah, I might have did play Fight Night a little, but I never got into the game. I remember playing like this boxing game on Nintendo 64. It's called Ready to Rumble.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Then I played Knockout Kings 2002 on PS2.
And I remember Ready to Rumble where that dude got his fro bitten off on the commercial.
Oh, Afro Thunder.
Yeah, Afro Thunder.
Oh yeah.
Like, cut me, dog. cut me. I'm like, and that's the thing too. It's like how I'm a boxer body, yet they Afro puff is in the way. And and speaking of which, like, I saw somebody playing Mike Tyson's. I think what was it? What was that Mike Tyson game that came out on regular Nintendo?
Uh,
It's probably Knockout something.
yeah, I don't remember what the game. I don't remember what the
Yeah,
game was.
but yeah, though, but he had a game, and you had to like go through these like certain challengers, and the moment that you got to him,
Mm-hmm.
he was difficult as hell to he was difficult as hell to play against.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because the way he fights in the game is like how he fights in real life. He's gonna come with them hooks and uppercuts and all that. You gotta know how to dodge
Mm,
to get out the way. Because if you don't, then that's lights out for you.
mm.
And I was just like, damn it, Mike, I hate you.
You say you play like WWE 2K like 22 and
WWE 2K22.
yeah.
Yeah.
You play like in like the old WWE games like WWF WrestleMania like 2000 No Mercy or SmackDown versus Raw before.
Um, I did do the SmackDown series, and I did do like WWF Warzone, Attitude, uh hell, even WCW. Um, there was Nitro, Thunder, and even of course Revenge.
Oh, Revenge, that's the game. Huh?
Yeah, WCW and WO Revenge, yeah.
Yeah.
And but then when they started venturing into like the 2K, that just became like hell even easier for me now. Easier for me now. Starting out, yes, the opponent can do a finisher move on me, and I'm trying to kick out, but yet he done already got to three, and I'm like, fuck. And then it's like, oh, technical difficulties. Like I had like because I think what was it on this channel? Like I was streaming 2K. Yeah, I was streaming 2K 2020 two, and they
Mm-hmm.
had a showcase with Rey Mysterio.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I know I've seen it.
and and Kimmy was down in the chat messing with me. It was all like, well, if you lose, I don't want to. Like, I thought you said you knew how to play. It's like I do. It's like, okay, well, if you lose, I don't want to hear about it. Like, all right. And and there was a match that I was playing. I forget who it was. I think it may have been my third match. And I'm playing. It was very competitive, but then all of a sudden something happened to where I made a mistake and didn't I pressed the wrong button. I didn't press it in time. So that was like, again, sort of one of the first losses that I had, even though the game was new and I haven't gotten used to the control mechanics.
Mm.
And it got into, I thought you said you knew how to play. I'm like, hey, I'm getting used to it, all right.
Mm.
Anyway, wifey, I still love you, but still.
It's I think them old WWE games, I love playing them because like if you play like the SmackDown versus Raw games, like the mechanics in that game, it was actually crazy.
Yeah.
You can actually hear the punching sound.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like even with certain moves that you see wrestlers do when they're actually wrestling and not playing the game format of them,
Yeah.
you really want to have that real experience. Like okay, if Batista were to do a certain move and it looked a certain way, and you're
Hmm.
trying to find the moves and it's not necessarily in the game, you're just like, hold up, I can't find it. Like he even started doing the jackhammer, and I would even have to go back to my move set and equip the jackhammer into his move set, and I couldn't find it.
I thought he did the Batista bomb or something.
Yeah, he do
Mm.
he, but he did the jackhammer as a not necessarily as a finisher, but it was like
They like,
one of it, a signature.
I think he might have, cause you know, some like in some of the wrestling games, you know, you can like steal the finisher, still like the
Yeah,
finisher. Yeah,
yeah,
I was thinking that what you might have made or something.
yeah. It was well, actually, it's not always well necessarily a steal of. I mean, yeah, they do give you that option, but like what was it like when he had like got drafted to SmackDown, right? When he got
Hmm.
drafted to SmackDown around 2005, 2006.
Yeah, 2005.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
he was wrestling Booker T or what have you.
yeah.
And then I saw where he had did the jackhammer, and I'm like, hold up. Since when you started doing the jackhammer? That's Goldberg stuff. But Goldberg wasn't wrestling at the time, so it's like, all right, well, I guess if he gave you permission to use it, or if he's not complaining, well,
Mm.
go right ahead.
Yeah, I love watching WWE back from like the Ruthless Aggression when they had Batista, John Cena, Edge, then the DX.
Then you
Cause
had
back, yeah, cause back
then you
then,
had
John,
Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton.
yeah, yeah, I was a big fan of John Cena back in the day.
Did you wear what of the what like the you can't see the you can't see me era or the word thugonomics era?
Actually, both. I was a little
Yeah,
kid. I was a little
yeah,
kid when I
it's all
watched it.
good.
Yeah, I was a little kid when I watched it. You know, that's I just seen John Cena like kick ass. You know, especially he was in the rivalry with Edge. That was crazy.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I used to play him a lot on SmackDown versus Raw 2007.
Like they, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think what was it like? When he started, like I guess, oh yeah, when he started competing with, let's say, like Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and went right into Kurt Angle,
Yeah.
and hell, even when he wrestled Chris Jericho, and they had a match on Raw, and if either one lost, they got fired.
Yeah, I remember the match. John Cena won that match.
Yeah, and Chris Jericho and with Eric Bischoff was like, "Damn it, you're fired!" And then Chris Jericho was literally on his knees crying,
Yeah.
and just the way it was reenacted. Now I'm not making fun of people that you know like, oh well, if you get fired from your job and then you start doing that, like, oh, I'm just laughing at you. Literally, no, I'm literally laughing at the acts. It was like, I don't give a damn about you, or I was like, well, I'm not gonna necessarily say what else he said because don't want to trigger anyone.
Mm.
It's like, and this is what Eric Bischoff was saying. I'm like, well, damn, Eric, you seem to be in your feelings more so than Chris Jericho is because he lost. But no, though. But even Eric Bischoff, he was wrestling. He was wrestling Jim Ross, and I think he had stomped the cinder block through his head, and he ended up pinning him that way. And he was forced to apologize for stomping a cinder block through his head that
God,
way.
yeah.
And I'm like, you mean to tell me you couldn't come up with a better finisher than that?
I forgot when he was wrestling, he was wearing a karate gear or something. I
Yeah,
was
yeah, right.
I'm
He
like,
had
are you?
that karate gi. He had that karate gi on, and all of us. Even when he wrestled Stone Cold in that karate gi, and Stone Cold was even the match he had with Stone Cold, that was really I was dying laughing. Then he showed up the Raw the next day like he didn't got hit by a truck. He had a crutch on, he had a cast on his arm, had a black eye. And I'm like, you got knocked the fuck out. And everybody, and everybody in the everybody backstage, I'm talking about all the superstars, was literally laughing at him that he got his ass beat that bad. But then again though, but I think it was also another stream. I was streaming some UFC fights,
Mm-hmm.
and I was playing with Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler,
Right.
and I used it was something. It was a move that I think it may have been a flying knee or some punches. I think it may have been a flying knee that I landed, knocked him out or knocked him down. Then all of a sudden the stream cut off.
Oh man.
I was mad to the motherfucker. I'm like, yo, that was supposed to be the highlight of the night, and you just go kick me off the stream like that. That's some bullshit.
I don't think. Yeah, I never
Oh,
got
go ahead.
into the. My man, I ain't mean to interrupt you. Um, I never got into them UFC games though, cause like the fighting games I normally play is like the Def Jam, the WWE, and then like the Mortal Kombat games, and
Oh yeah.
Street Fighter games though.
Oh yeah. Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Oh, you talk about awesome. But I
Cause
still
I'm
can't do but when I pick Akuma and how he does that raging demon move,
yeah
I still can't pull that off for some reason. Even though I'm pressing the right thing, and he still ain't moving the way I want it to. And
yeah
even
same.
I turn my V triggers on, and it's still. And it's like, okay, I gotta go back to practicing then.
Mm, mm. Uh,
Dang, like 1 minute you'll be back, you back. Next minute you will be.
we'll play like the old Street Fighters, like Street Fighter 2 and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Them games was like super hard. Like it don't tell me like four tries just to beat a character in that game. Cause I remember,
Oh yeah.
cause I remember
Oh
like
yeah, like that, like because I normally didn't play it like what I mean by normally playing it, but playing it like in the sense to where like I do the arcade mode because I was always playing versus. But
Hmm.
when I would do the arcade mode and I would get to the last opponent, which would be Bison, he
Yeah.
would always find a way to beat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my first Street Fighter game I played was the second one on the Sega Genesis. I think that was Special Champion Edition. So where it was like Street Fighter 2, but it was like the regular Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, and then they added like the Hyper Street Fighter 2, and that was
Oh
on the
yeah, yeah. I remember the hype. I remember the hype edition,
yeah, because the Hyper
and
Edition,
it's just pretty much making the characters move just a little bit faster.
yeah, and plus they costume like color like change. Because at first, like for example, like Ryu he wears like the white gi with a red bit, like with the red like bandana on or something.
Right.
In Hyper Street Fighter, he wears like a light blue gi on with the white with the white headband on. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then like with Ken, his he always wear the red gi on, but in Hyper he wears the purple gi on. I thought it was blue at first, but it was actually purple.
Oh, and man, let me tell you, like every time I have to like fight against Ken, depending on the situation, oh, he always finds a way to beat me too, and I just be like, oh, like I literally can't stand you either. Like I don't know if I'll use you. Like I'm still gonna use Ryu regardless, but but then again, I turn back around and use him, and he and somebody else ends up beating. I'm just like, yo, what is it with these characters that? But nah, though, but not. But seriously though, like aside from Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken is also a good one.
Oh yeah, I love Tekken.
And when they added this new specialty to it called the Rage Art. Now that's their version of V Trigger.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen it, but I don't. But it's like I'm trying to change. Are they becoming like Street Fighter with that rage and art? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The Raging Art is their that is their Tekken version of V Trigger versus necessarily me using the juggle
Mm-hmm.
because you will see people juggling
Mm-hmm.
with their opponents or what have you, and I never really was able to like grab to like necessarily perform a juggle, but I'm just pretty much okay. I'm just gonna fight you normally.
Mm-hmm.
If I grab you, I grab you. If I don't, then you just happen to be lucky that
Yeah, I think if you ever play like Tekken 5, 6, or Tag Team 2, did you know like you can like customize them?
night. Oh yeah,
Yeah, cause that was
shoot, hell, I was always customizing her reign.
the Taekwondo.
Yeah,
I always customize what's the Bruce Lee character, martial law.
yeah.
Because
Okay,
like
then welcome back.
because I think it was another game. It was like that you can customize the character too. I think it was Virtual Fighter.
I I th- I I think I played Virtual Fighter one time, and that was when I think it was on Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Not Xbox One, but the first edition of Xbox.
What the ever
And
Virtual Fighter 4?
yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I forgot. In that you when it came to Virtual Fighter 4 and 5, you can like customize the characters.
And you sort of kind of had to know, like, again, like for certain characters, you definitely got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember Killer Instinct, TJ Combo.
I tried to play Killer Instinct, but I couldn't. Cause you know how they used to do like the ultra combo in that game.
Oh yeah.
I can't even pull it off. It's kind of like almost like the old Mortal Kombat games, like Mortal Kombat 3 and Trilogy. They had the like brutalities where you gotta hit certain buttons that pull that
Oh
off.
yeah.
That would Killer Instinct remind me of.
Because it was like, hey, well, hey, and part of me is really starting to believe now that I believe people started playing Killer Instinct was because they had a person of color as the character, which is, again, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, like people, I mean, hell, even in Mortal Kombat, yeah, you have Jax, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Jax, and I believe there's somebody else. I can't think of it right now.
Yeah. Go with Mortal Kombat. I pretty much prefer like mostly Mortal Kombat 4, Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, and then like Mortal Kombat like 9 and XL.
I actually got Excel.
Over. I had to get
Yeah.
back in. I had to get back recording more videos of that game because it's been a while. Cause it's been a while. Recording some more videos because I just done Devora, the the playthrough of Devora about a week ago. Now I'm playing the next few characters.
Hey, do you ever get to the point to where you just you may feel like you just want to rage quit?
Yeah, I
Because I'm gonna admit this as a gamer, yo. Whenever I see people, like, even when they rage quit, part of me is like it's funny, but when it becomes like, get like too, like, hell, even just too hell, just too vicious. Like, you may hear some stuff said out of pocket, and but normally I'm like, if you're gonna rage quit, okay, well, you can rage quit, but don't just all of a sudden just start taking it out on people who ain't really done nothing to you.
to tell you the truth, I rage quit a lot on Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Like I rage a lot on Call of Duty because it's like it's certain people that play sneaky on that game.
Oh yeah, and I seen no, like, actually, and I believe I told the story about this. There was
Mhm.
actually somebody who actually who was rage quitting, and I believe he was playing. Yeah, he was playing online with some other gamers as well,
Yeah,
and he got mad because he was losing, and so they were like, so he started cussing them out and going back and forth, and then one of the guys said to him, it's like, hey, yo, man, if you really want to come meet up with me, hey, I'll give you my address. And so he gives him, so again, he put his address down, but it wasn't necessarily his address, it was somebody else's. So they ended up doing a SWAT for somebody else's house getting swatted. and this family pretty much died. So they ended up, so again, like, and then they had a teenage daughter, and I guess the teenage daughter had to see her brothers and sisters and her father get, killed, and I think she ended up killing herself later on because of the thoughts of seeing, dead family members dead for nothing. Because I don't know what this guy told the boys, but still, that was pretty much a fucked up thing to do.
Well,
Yeah. Say Saber Wolf. Okay, she was still going. Okay, I'm definitely gonna be late in the comments yet again. Oh, all right then, Kimmy. But yeah, though, but it's like, if you're not, again, like, if you don't rage quit on your own, and it just gets to the point to where somebody else makes you rage quit without you happen to be very going off the handle with it, then perhaps you need to cut the game off.
yeah,
But not, but seriously though, but like, even back to like even the old NBA games, like the first ever NBA Live that I played was NBA Live 95 and 96.
mm,
And that was for Super Nintendo.
yeah. I think
And
I think though I think there was one another NBA game I played. It was called NBA Showtime. That was on the N64.
yeah.
But I used to
But
tear
you
like
remember NBA,
but I used to tear
you
like
remember
NBA
NBA
streets.
Jam?
Yeah, I remember that, but I don't think I never touched that game. Like I seen it, but I never touched it. Because a lot of games I touched was like shooting games, fighting, and racing games. I remember my
No, for
first.
some, you know what? For me, playing racing games, for some reason I never could get a handle on the control mechanisms of that, because I could be driving perfectly, but then all of a sudden I just start going off the road, or I end up missing the wrong road that I probably should be going, but instead I'm drifting over here.
Uh, if I
Like,
didn't
if you're
tell
gonna
you,
give me a race,
oh,
I'll
sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Mm. Um, I'm gonna tell you the secret. One game that I can really dominate in is Mario Kart 64.
Okay. All righty,
Like,
Mario Kart 64.
yeah, yeah, because I remember doing like a walkthrough back back like back in 2008, 2018, but bruh, I'll hit them corners. I'll try some tricks and stuff. I always stayed in first place,
Yeah.
but there was some races I end up in second though or third because I was being too fancy. But I still completed the whole cup in first place.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Hey, they be cheating. They do be cheating. They
Yep,
cheat you out of those first places.
yeah. But at least I still
I mean,
won
hell,
though.
even if you If you go to the casino and stuff and you start having a good hand, if they
Yeah.
cheat you out of those bonuses,
Mm-hmm.
yo, you be thinking, yo, man, I know I should have got a bonus. I know I should have got a bonus, but they be cheating. Then it's like, well, remember, the house always wins, which sucks, but that's just how it is. I mean, hell, even when they try to pull that off on me at times, like if I'm playing a certain game, I'm like, hold up, that wasn't supposed to go like that. You know, I had you on the ropes, but yet this damn computer and the AIs don't want to cooperate with me.
Yeah, if you go to my channel, if you count like my Mario Kart 64 videos, you'll see how good I play.
Right. I'm definitely gonna have to check. I'm definitely gonna check those out.
Mhm.
But hey, just in case if I may dabble into that, I'll know exactly what to do. Oh wow, 3 hours. Well, all right then. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this one. And I appreciate everybody that had a chance to stop by. Good, bad, or indifferent.
All
Yeah.
right,
And retro, I appreciate you hopping on.
all right, all right, 100.
Yeah, yeah. Not sure when I'm gonna be back again, but make sure you hey, make sure you turn those notifications on. Hit the like, comment, and sub if you want to. If not, then hey, I'm not gonna hold you hostage.
It's
All
all
right
good.
then, y'all.
All right, all good. 100.
Yeah. Now I'll catch y'all later.